Hey, I'm back. It's a work day, so I'm here in my car on a work day. And my favorite book came. I've been waiting. I love it so much that I give it away all the time. Every time I think about it, I have one and I give it away. So mine finally came in the mail. Thanks, Barnes & Noble. And so I'm super excited. I think this may take us up to Christmas just because it's fairly long and it's got some quite a bit of words on each page if I remember correctly. So are we ready? All right. This is the back and this is magically the front. And it's by that guy that we like so much. He did the Opus book, A Wish for Wings That Work. All right, this is Berkeley, Breathed, I think. And it's called Red Ranger Came Calling. All right, look at that guy. Look at his cute red hair and all the toys and stuff. All right, here we go. Okay, it's called A Guaranteed True Christmas Story. And he wrote it for his father, the Red Ranger, of course. He's finally up there somewhere, just off Pluto, maybe. Sometimes I see Pluto in the night sky. All right, here we go. It's a long story. So this is the first picture. And the first page just talks about his dad and pretty much where the where the book came from in his mind, in his memory. All right. So I think we'll skip that for now and get into the story because, like I said, it's got a lot of words. All right, so this is Christmas 1939. So during the Depression years, before the Second War, my folks would banish me from East Orange, New Jersey to Michigan for the school year and then ship me to upstate New York for summer camp. The lone remaining month for Christmas would find me on a train to my Aunt Vi's house on Vashon, a damp little island somewhere off the country's upper left-hand corner. It was an out-of-the-way corner, but a good place to grow things, where strawberries and sour-faced little boys might ripen up sweeter, or so my mother told me each time she sent me away. But on Christmas Eve of 1939, I'd grown no sweeter at all. My prize eluded me, an official buck tweed, 2-speed, Crime Stopper, Star Hopper bicycle. It sat there gleaming in the Vashon hardware store window, tantalizing earthlings with its spine-tingling glamour. The Red Ranger of Mars, that's me, visited this place daily, like a cow returning to a salt lick. There I would loiter, miserable in bicycle poverty, kept company by Amelia, Aunt Vi's Dalmatian wiener dog mix. Most of the time, Amelia just snoozed nearby, dreaming, like me, of other places and other lives far away. But it was 1939, and although Christmas Eve had arrived, dreams were unaffordable. Amelia and I headed home with mine far behind in a store window. His dreams were far behind in that store window. All right, you got to look at this. These pictures are so good. All right, so there's Aunt Vi, and there's the cute little dog. I forgot the dog's name already. There's the little dog, and there he is sitting on the box, and there's that bicycle he wants. Holy smokes. He wants that bicycle so bad. Aren't those pictures great? All right, let's see what happens next. What's the dog's name? I forgot. Oh, Amelia. That's her name. The dog's name is Amelia. Okay, so here we go. As usual, I looked for delays on the walk home. Aunt Vi would be waiting, and we made each other equally uncomfortable, so I saw no reason to hurry. That evening's detour brought me and Amelia past the ramshackle lighthouse perched high in the mist on Point Robinson. As always, we paused to consider the old house's legend. Island old-timers insisted that its unseen occupant, old Sonder Claus, was actually Santa Claus himself. The real McCoy of childish fancy migrated down from the north to spend his final days in secretive retirement on Vashon Island. It took folks far more fruity than the Red Ranger of Mars to be tricked into believing such twaddle. Like many my age, I knew that Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy and the Easter Bunny were just that many more promises hatched by those who weren't very good at keeping any. As we turned to leave, an astonishingly squat little man, no bigger than me, rushed past us toward the old lighthouse. He carried an overnight bag, which bumped along behind him. The tiny man smiled weakly and tipped his hat, revealing pointy ears. Something flowery needed to be said by the Red Ranger of Mars, but in my shock, all that came out was, "Mister, you look like a turnip." I could not recall ever actually seeing a genuine elf, nor calling one a vegetable, but I was certain that I had just done this. An elf. You know whose elf? To a dyed-in-the-wool, everything-doubter such as myself, it was mind-boggling. Just wait till you see this. So, the elf with the pointy ears was going up, look, there's his mailbox, to Sonder Claus's house up on the hill. See his little pointy ears? See Amelia? And the Red Ranger of Mars, which is the guy who's talking with the story. And I don't know about you, but those fence posts look like candy canes to me. All right. That evening, Aunt Vi asked me to help pin up some old holiday magazine pictures, but I declined. I declined as my mind had been freshly boggled. Vi noticed my peculiar mood and offered to let me open my Christmas gift from her early. It was a glorious buck tweed space uniform, the bonus highlight being a large red R zooming across the breastplate. I tried it on, and she flung a hand across her brow, swooning from the swashbuckling drama of it all. We had finally discovered our first bit of common ground. But my Space Ranger senses detected that the jersey was in truth last year's cast-off pajama top, dyed Ranger red and altered by the loving hands of its giver. "Pajamas," I said with crushing disappointment. I didn't speak again, but my fingers explored the familiar cloth and my expression hid none of my defeat. Vi turned away, hiding her own. I did not typically give much thought to the feelings of others, and, true to form, I did not that night. My mother used to tell me that there was a natural order to all things, and that mine must have been prickliness. She said that blaming me, or anybody else, for my distant nature would be like blaming a polar bear for eating Canadians. It was the natural order, and that was that. I thought of this as I went up to bed. Poor guy. He was so mad with his gift. And Aunt Vi, I think, was embarrassed that he didn't like it. Look at her face. And look at him. He's all grumpy. He's always grumpy. The Red Ranger from Mars. All right, what do you think? Think we can do one more page? Let's do one more page before we're done. As I lay there in the dark, my thoughts returned to the earlier elf sighting. He had looked like the real thing, and elves to Santa Claus are like horseflies to a horse. One means that the other is nearby. For a child, even me, it was all too tempting to believe. But then, wasn't everything and everybody? It occurred to me that a kid's life was one long opportunity for having the rug pulled out from below him at every step. Myself, I was determined to stay on my feet. Still, a fraud was surely afoot, and it was the sworn duty of the Red Ranger of Mars to stick his nose deep into such things. Amelia followed, looking doubtful as I dropped out my window. I bent low and then crept off into the island fog to unmask a humbug. The Santa Claus house teetered high above the pounding surf, the moon igniting the rising mist into blue phosphorescence. Ancient toys in disrepair littered the steps like ghosts from a baby's bad dream. We clambered past an old sign nailed into the rock. It says, "Visitors not received," with zesty jolliness at the moment. I almost turned back right there. I was growing uneasy about the whole matter, and a public guarantee of grumpiness didn't help. I knocked on the huge door unzestfully. All right, you got to see this picture. Another great picture. All right, so see, he's getting up that mountain no matter what. And there's Amelia. Does she have a flashlight? I think she's got a flashlight. See all the littered toys on the steps going up to the house? And look, is that a rocking horse? Sorry. Is that a rocking horse right there? We'll have to wait till tomorrow. That's a lot of story. It's a lot of pages. All right, so I'll read the next pages tomorrow. And we'll see you guys at the same place in Shannon's car reading the Christmas stories. Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow.